Hey, it's Nathaniel. Welcome back to another video. In this quick video, I'm gonna talk about finding your authentic voice using YouTube. If you're someone that feels like you have something valuable to share with the world, but you're having trouble kind of expressing yourself from what is it that you're here to say? And how do you even know if it's the right thing? Then stay tuned, because I'm gonna share my personal journey with you and how I'm using YouTube to discover my own authentic voice and how you can apply this same process for your own creative path. I think there's a lot of people right now who feel stuck, and there's this idea that you need to kind of niche down or pick your specific niche. And honestly, I think this is causing a lot of problems. It's causing people to really feel stuck in life. Something like 160 million people came into the online creator marketplace in 2020 alone, and it's been increasing every single day. This is an enormous amount of people trying to now create some type of living on the internet. And so this old advice of niching down or finding your specific kind of solution to a common problem just isn't working anymore. And in fact, if you try to specialize in any one thing in particular, within a very short period of time, it's very likely that artificial intelligence is going to replace that thing and do it way better, and you're not going to be able to keep up. And so I believe survival in this new world of artificial intelligence literally comes down to discovering your authentic voice and your own unique tribe of people who really resonate with what it is you're here to teach. Discovering your own unique voice, your truth, is the only thing that nobody can ever compete with. And so the answer is the niche is you. And so how do you go about finding this authentic center of creative expression? I personally like YouTube right now as this place to do this kind of experimental project, because it's the only social media platform that actually requires you to use your brain to engage with your audience. With Facebook or Instagram, you can just post a photo and a short little quote. It doesn't even have to be yours, and you can get 200 or 300 likes. This gives you a false sense of productivity and creativity and accomplishment that really, honestly, is just like spinning your wheels. It's not going to take you anywhere. YouTube is a totally different landscape. It really does require you to show up and give something of true value to people. And so it's really cool, because this is like the first time in my entire life with using social media where I'm being faced with, what is it that I'm here to give? What wisdom, what unique wisdom am I here to offer? And how can I do it in a way that connects with people virtually like this? And ultimately, to answer that question, you need to understand the pains of the world. You need to understand people's pains and how your unique perspective and paradigm can help shift people's consciousness and heal their lives and minds. Also, YouTube is kind of like the ultimate online resume. And I love that your content, the content that you create, actually grows over time. Whereas other platforms, you create something and it usually has a half-life of about 2 or 3 days before the algorithm stops showing it to your audience. YouTube can actually get momentum and snowball over time. You've probably seen videos pop up in your feed that are like 4, 5, 6, even 10 years old with millions of views, and they are still relevant to today, sometimes even more so. It's also archived in a very clean and searchable way. I also think for people who are interested in finding work online, whether it's finding a job or finding clients for your business, nothing compares to several months of long form, well thought out content of you literally expressing yourself like this, giving your unique perspective with the world, engaging with your audience. You know, when people go to search for you online, this is what they're gonna come across, and they actually get a chance to really connect and know you and build that trust. Which can really help land jobs or land clients in your unique endeavors in your business and what you're here to really offer. It gives you a way to have immediate influence. The work is done once over a long period of time, and once it's there, it's established. It's kind of like a depository of your unique expression out there for the world to see. And in the very worst case, it's kind of like passing down your message to future generations, whether it's your kids or your grandchildren or just humanity. It's your way of kind of immortalizing yourself and putting your voice out there, giving your wisdom back to the world, and then after you're long gone, your voice and your message and your perspective stands the test of time. It's still there for others to access and benefit from. It's kind of like leaving your legacy. And so I'm gonna break this process down into 3 cycles. This is also a lot of knowledge that has been culminated from other famous YouTubers, people who have gone on this journey before me, who have given this kind of advice, looking back on their own journey of, several years growing on YouTube and kind of their rough process. So that's kind of all distilled into one. My own experience growing on social media and before I even came to YouTube, and other people that I've actually read about and watched videos and things like that, all kind of crystallized into these 3 cycles. And so cycle 1 is really about this kind of process of unattached output. And what do I mean by that? It's kind of this period of just putting out as much content as you possibly can, taking all the ideas, the things that you want to communicate, whether it's the current things you're going through, some of the unique perspectives that you've developed through your life and you want to communicate to the world, putting those things together in an organized way, putting them out there, not giving a shit what people think about you, just putting yourself out there. It's really a process of kind of honing in and chiseling away at all of that kind of dark shadow. I have this fire actually in the background because it's kind of like the process of taking action is like burning through your karma. You get to overcome all of those kind of lower voices within that would try to stop you. And so you put all this content out there over a period of time and you start to learn through iteration and feedback. This means looking at the comments that are coming in, looking at the engagement, looking at which videos actually get a response and which ones don't. And then over time, you start to get a sense for what it is the world is actually wanting and what it is you're actually good at. You get to see yourself on video. And then even YouTube gives you a lot of tools to kind of study the statistics and the analytics of what is getting engagement and what isn't, what kind of demographics are engaging with your content. And so this first part is kind of like a several-month journey of just putting yourself out there without really caring what happens or even paying too much attention at this initial phase. Just put yourself out there. And then you also learn as you go. You start to learn all the tools and methods of creating content, and you're getting better and better, and you run into walls and you overcome those walls as you go. And as you start to create from this initial like center of authentic self-expression, it starts to kind of spiral off from there, and you start to get into more and more relevant content that frankly might even like surprise you as to what is coming up. In this way, you kind of get rid of the excess fat of trying to study and do everything perfect from the get-go. You just go, you overcome the obstacles as they come up, and you get better and better and better in a very short period of time. And I would say during this process, you should commit to at least 50 long-form, high-quality videos before you even make the decision whether this is the path for you. Just put your head down and go. This is the foundation. You can always delete the videos later, the ones that didn't resonate or that you weren't super proud of, and then you just basically boil it down to the core of good content. So it's like you build it out and then you kind of delete back until you get to this fine core, and then you build it out and you delete it back and you build it out until you get this really solid core of quality content. And then this is an amazing way to actually look back from a meta perspective and see what it is you've created, what it is you're trying to communicate. And so the next cycle, after the first cycle of just putting your head down and going for it, getting at least 50 videos done, the next cycle is to start doubling down on the things that were working. And of course, you want to be doing this all along, but nothing is going to give you that meta perspective like having 50 high quality videos where you put a lot of effort into them, and then going back and actually seeing over time the ones that have gotten a lot of traction and seeing what it was about that message that resonated. What was it about the way that you were communicating? There's going to be so much data here, so much information for your own evolution. You're going to start to discover things about yourself that you didn't even know. You might even realize you're actually a pretty good communicator and that people really enjoy your content and you're actually shifting people's lives. And I think by this time, you'll have started to create a really in-depth dialogue with a very passionate core of people who like what it is you're sharing. And of course, they're gonna start expressing their problems and thoughts in the comments, which is gonna give you more inspiration for creating even more content based on your unique perspective and paradigm, and how this reveals more of your true essence as you communicate and help people. And it's here that you may even start to gain a lot of clarity on the kinds of products and services you could develop that really help this unique specific market that you're starting to attract into your life. So there's this one kind of ideology of niche down, find your unique niche, and then study the niche's problems and pains and all this kind of stuff, and develop a product and then start selling them from the get-go. Whereas I think the more aligned way of building an online business is to put yourself out there first. Give yourself, find your unique voice, find your unique following, get to understand them at a very deep level, and then creatively start to develop products and services that can help this very specific market. It will be a way more aligned and fulfilling way of serving the people that you're here to serve. And I think that really happens around that kind of the second cycle, after you've really put yourself out there, got your 50 videos, started to see what it is you're here to do, what the market is wanting, doubling down on what is working, and then maybe start at that point brainstorming products and services that you can start to integrate into your offering and communication. And then the third cycle is really just starting to move into this new territory of profound clarity of what it is you're here to give, who it is you're here to help, and how to connect with them with your unique paradigm and perspective. Knowing intuitively what's going to work when you create content. Just having a deep kind of level of mastery over your own voice and your own self-expression and how that's going to be received by the world. People will begin to look to you for inner and even outer clarity, which is especially important in these times of chaos. You're gonna start communicating from this core of truth within you with very little deviance. You're gonna know at a very deep level what is true for you and how to shift people with just a few words. It's here where you really start to attract high resonance people into your life, and you actually begin to create true influence, which could even start to grow into a significant power on the world stage. I think ultimately that's what we're here to do with our authentic voice. We're here to kind of rise up, express this kind of divine essence, this divine truth that's coming through to truly make a global impact. To play a part in the transformation of the world. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take a plan. It's going to take overcoming a lot of these inner barriers that can only happen over time. It's a long-term journey. I think it's the best way to engage with social media these days, to kind of take back control of your life and mind, but to still be engaged with social media. I think it's a path worth dedicating yourself to for at least a year to see if something sticks, to really give it a chance. And then you can always decide at the end of the year if it's something you want to keep doing or not. But like I said, at the very least, you'll have created some type of legacy content that's going to outlive you. You've given your voice to the world. And it's a way to kind of just give back all of your wisdom and have it out there for the world to see. And as they say, if you help just one, then you've made a big difference. So I hope you like this video. I did this one a little bit more of a rant style, where I just kind of went off the cuff, wrote some bullet points, and then just kind of spoke from the top of my head, whereas some other videos I've spent a little bit more time with kind of scripting out how I wanted to communicate. So I'm testing some different things. That's also part of my journey right now, how to get this message out faster, right? When I take too much time with like scripting things out, it can be a big and long process to get my content out. So I'm trying to find the sweet spot with my own communication and getting better and better at just kind of going off the whim and communicating with clarity. That's also part of this journey. So I hope this video inspired you to find your own voice, whether it's using YouTube or some type of other creative expression through your artwork or photography, whatever it is. I suggest just getting to work, doing it, and seeing what comes back, and reiterating and getting better over time, and seeing what it is that comes out and what you're here to actually give. So if you like this video, you guys may like this one too. Go ahead and click on it. YouTube is recommending it. I think you'll like it, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.